Okay, I got it. Yes. Yes, I got it. That was wow, that was a pain. Yeah, sorry about that. Uh, okay, I'm here. I'm here, I swear. I swear I made it. 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 Okay, I made it. All right. I'm sorry about the delay. I really apologize. Some reason it wasn't I was trying to start the stream and it wouldn't start for some reason. So, all right. Alrighty. Good stuff. All right. There we go. We got everything going. Good, good, good. All right. How's everyone today? How is everyone today? Good morning. Good morning. Morning. I definitely truly apologize. I definitely truly apologize. That's my apologies for that. That's really my fault. Oh, yeah, I was the stream wasn't coming up for some reason. So yeah, I don't know what happened there. But I kind of tweaked it around. It's been kind of spotty today. I think it's because I had some internet connection issues in the area and they had to like bring out technicians to repair it. Not in my place in particular, but the whole area in general. Comcast was having some issues. So yeah, I don't know what they did, but they did something, I'm sure. But we're here, so I'm fine. All right. Let me oh, okay. I guess not. Okay. So let's get going here at the very least. I apologize for the late start. All right. My apologies indeed. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to Thursday, end of the week time today. So today, we're going to go ahead and finish. We're going to go ahead and continue on here in chapter 5. Okay, today we're going to be doing section 5.2, which is going to be talking about rates. Okay, so rates is going to be uh, what we're going to be doing here today. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about them here today. Now, this is going to be in relation to what we talked about here last time, which was talking about ratios. So if you remember how we did ratios, we're going to be doing the same thing here once again today. All right, we're going to, yeah, my stream is really spotty today for whatever reason. So sorry about that. Um, okay. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at for here is we're going to be looking at ratios, kind of ratios here once again. All right, and we're going to be yeah, bananas indeed. um, we're going to be looking at ratios here once again, but again, we're going to be doing it in terms of just specific units. Now, let's talk about rates and ratios here. And let's go ahead and come into here. Okay. So the first one here talks about comparing two measurements with the same units. This is what we call a related rate. Okay. And this next one here is an unrelated rate. So unrelated rate compares two measurements with different units. Yeah, you might want to click the unmute icon, see if that does it, Samantha. I know that my audio is working, so that part I'm confident in. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at. It's just going in and out of my laptop. I'm not sure what's going on your end. Maybe try refreshing the stream again. Okay. Let's go ahead and write rates as fractions, okay? So that's what we're going to do next. So let's take a look here. It says, suppose you hiked 14 miles in 4 hours. All right, the rate at which you can hike can be written as a fraction in lowest terms. Now, we talked about this last time talking about a ratio. Remember, we talked about how the first number that we see would be the number going in the numerator, and the second number that we see here would be the number going into the denominator, okay? So, having said that, again, we have 14 miles over 4 hours. Again, 14 miles came first, and then 4 hours came second, okay? So, again, as you can see here, we have 14 over 4, just like so. And remember what we did here last class. Last class, we went ahead and divided it by 2, again, just to reduce it down to its most lowest terms. And again, we had 7 miles for, say, we could say here 7 miles to every 2 hours, or 7 miles for every 2 hours. We can certainly say that. 7 miles per 2 hours, okay, for example. Okay, so 7 miles per 2 hours seems fair. Now, if we're talking about separating quantities and whatnot, we have all of these words here. We've talked about word problems here. And remember, in word problems, we look at for those keywords there. And in those keywords, specifically, we want to look for those quantities that we are going ahead and comparing. And again, we're going to use any of these types of words here in order to write it as a ratio. Okay. My goodness. All right. It's going to be one of those days. All right. I already know it. Yep. Start freezing again because the buffer size can't be handled. Yeah. All right. I guess so. Guess that'll have to do, I suppose. I'm still going to have to figure out something, but I'll try my best. All right. Okay. So you can see these words here are going to be the ones that we're going to be using a majority of the time. So for example here, um, you often find these words separating the quantities you're comparing. So for example here you see in, or for, or on, or per, like again, 25 miles per gallon, okay, things that you've seen before. 2 for 1, all right, for example, like a 2 for 1 at a you're buying something 2 for 1. Uh, 5 in 6, all right, 5 in 6 people agree with your remark, okay, whatever the case may be. 3 on 2, so maybe 3 people against 2 people, for example. And then there's from. From is not used too often, but but you do see it from time to time. That's for certain. Okay. Okay, so let's take a good look here and write each fraction in lowest terms. Again, we're going to take the same approach as we did here for the last section here when we talked about ratios. So we have 5 gallons of chemical for $60. First of all, how can we write this as a fraction? 5 gallons of chemicals for $60. How do we write that as a fraction? What should we do? How should that look like? 5 over 60. Okay, that's correct. 5 over 60 is spot on. All right. Again, 5 is the number that comes first, so that's the number that goes in the numerator. And 60 is the number that comes second, so that goes into the denominator. So we have 5 over 60, right. Again, we're going to go ahead and label this 5 gallons and 60 bucks. All right, we want to reduce this down. So what does this reduce to? What can we divide by on the numerator and denominator here? 5. Okay, good. So let's divide by 5. All right, so 1 over 12. All right, very good. So we're going to go 1, and we'll have this over $12. So again, we would say, if we were to write this out here, it'd be 1 gallon for, reason why we use 4 is because of the 4 here, for $12. Okay, so 1 gallon for $12. Seems fair. All right, let's try this next one here. $1,500 wages in 10 weeks. How could we write that as a fraction there? All right, 1,500 over 10. Okay, what can we reduce by here? So we have $1,500 in 10 weeks. All right, so 100, so we could divide by 10, right? That's correct. So we get 1 week on the bottom. And we get $150 on the top. So what we would say here is, again, correct, $150 in 1 week. Okay, good. Any questions about that so far? Nope. Okay. Let's go ahead and give it another shot here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and have you guys try. One should be pretty easy, but we'll give it a quick go here. 4 teachers for 90 students. 4 teachers for 90 students. What would that be? Okay. Now I do want it to, now I do want it reduced. All right, 2 over 45. That's correct, Sion. Sorry about the delay, Sion. That's my fault. It's my connection's still spotty. 2 over 45 is correct. So agreed here. Daniel, I totally agree with that. Um, so 4 teachers, 90 students. Okay. So we'll divide by 2. Okay, spot on. Everybody's correct. Okay, 2 and 45. Okay, good. So 2 teachers for 45 students. All right. Okay. Any questions about that? Nope. Okay. Nope. All right. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to do here is reference to be unit rates. Okay, so that's what the rest of this section here is going to refer to as unit rates. Now, what are unit rates? Now, essentially, with unit rates, we basically, let's think of it this way. When you go to, say, a grocery store and you take a look at the price tag of a particular item in a grocery store, you could go ahead and see how much it would cost you to say, how much it would cost you per ounce for that particular item. Or if you buy fruits and vegetables at the grocery store, it could cost you, like, say, for example, bananas could cost you 79 cents per pound. And so that per pound part there, so for every 1 pound, you pay, say, 79 cents for those bananas. Okay. So that's essentially what we're going to be looking at here is kind of like putting it in terms of that quote unquote per pound part, if you kind of want to call it that way. Now, what's the key here to this particular process? There is definitely a key here. So let's talk about that. So the key here specifically is that the denominator will always be reduced to 1. Okay? So kind of had this a little different in the first class, but the denominator will always be reduced to 1. All right? What does this mean? This basically means is that we have to divide both the numerator and denominator by the denominator itself. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at an example, and let me go ahead and show you how this is going to work out. Okay? So if I write 337.5 miles, again, on or over 13.5 gallons of gas. Now, basically, what this note here is saying, this key here is saying, and let me go ahead and bring this back up here for a second. Okay. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger, but not covered by my face. So what this says here specifically is that this basically says, okay, I got 13.5 gallons here on the bottom, all right? But I need to have 1 here, so I need to actually go ahead and divide by 13.5. So I'm forced to divide by 13.5 regardless. Because what I want here on the bottom is I want a 1 here on the bottom. I want a 1 gallon here on the bottom. Then I take 337.5 and I divide that by 13.5. So does anybody got 337.5 divided by 13.5? Anybody have an answer for that? 25. That's correct. So we got 25 miles. So we would say here 25 miles per gallon. All right, any questions about that? No? Okay. All right. Let's have you guys try. Okay. Yeah, sure. Why would I divide those numbers? Again, the key thing here is I need to always be reduced to 1 for my denominator. So if I were going to ensure that I have 1 gallon here in the denominator, I need to divide by that same exact number of 13.5. That's why I need to go ahead and do that here by the divide by 13.5 on both the numerator and denominator here. It doesn't matter. Look, at the end of the day, Carissa, it doesn't matter what number is here on the denominator. It could be a decimal, it could be a whole number, but you have to divide by that number at the end of the day. So no matter what answers you get, it's not always going to be clean and nice, but that's what we're going to have to work with. So we're kind of forced into that situation. Okay, so let me go ahead and write that down here. So I did get asked this question earlier, so I'm gonna um, you are forced to divide by any number that is in the denominator. Yeah, so unfortunately you're not given a choice in the matter. You can't make it super nice, you can't make it look super clean. No, you have to do that number in the denominator to make a unit rate. Okay. Okay, 549 miles in 18 hours. Okay, well, let's have you guys give that a try. Let's take a minute and let's give it a go. So 549 miles in 18 hours. Anybody tell me what that would be as a unit rate? Okay, very nice. All right, so here we have 549, 549 miles over 18 hours. Okay, divide by 18. That seems okay to me. And again, if you do this out here, you should have 1 hour down here. Now again, if you need to do that work out here, 18 hours from here, Samantha. So 549 miles in 18 hours. Again, you have to divide by that number in the denominator. You're not given a choice. Whatever number's in this denominator, you have to use it. Doesn't matter how ugly it looks, you don't have a choice. So 18 goes into, we'll go and do this here. So 18 goes into 54 3 times. That'll be 54. Get 9. That's going to be 0. Will be 0. Will be 9. Bring down the 0. 18 goes into 95 times. All right, so that's correct here. 30 and a half. So if you were like driving a car, for example, you're getting 30 and a half miles per hour. Any questions about that? Nope. Okay. You just can't? Can't what? I'm just a little confused what you would like to do, or what you can or cannot do. We'll be doing some more examples there. So let's take a look at another one here. Which one is pretty good? Okay. Okay, we're just basically reducing it down. So I understand if it's confusing. I could understand if it's a tad bit confusing there, so that's fine. But we'll do some more examples. Hopefully it'll start to make a little bit more sense. Okay, let's do, yeah, do I want to do that one next? Yeah. All right, so let's do 304 miles on 9.5 gallons of gas. So let's say I'm trying to find miles per gallon on my gas thing, my car. So I'm going to write 304 miles. That comes first. So that goes in the numerator. And we're going to put 9.5 gallons here of gas on the bottom. Again, no matter what happens, we are going to divide by 9.5 because we want a unit rate. The denominator here is forced to be 1, pardon me. So we're going to divide by 9.5. So we're going to take 304 divided by 9.5. All right. That's right. So again, just using our decimal division if you want to use it that way. I can show by hand here, at least for this one. I'm going to move this over by 1. I'm going to move this over by 1. So what we have here is we have 95 on the outside. And we have 3040 here on the inside. Okay. So let's say 95 goes into 304. That'll be 3 times. So that's going to be 285. Again, if you multiply that out, 285. 304 divided by 9.5, Samantha? Well, I'm doing the work here on the side, so oh well, be easier if you could see it. Sorry about that. My bad. Remember, we're dividing, not multiplying. Dividing. So I'm dividing straight across here in this case, okay? Because I'm dividing both the top and the bottom by 9.5. I'm not dividing fractions here. I'm just dividing both the numerator and denominator by the same number. So you're like mixing up two things at the same time. I'm just doing straight division. So hopefully that clears that up there then. Okay. All right, so we get 32 miles for every gallon of gas. All right? Sounds good. Any questions about that? That's okay. I understand if you have to refresh the page. That's perfectly understandable. Okay. All right. Alrighty. take a look here at the next one. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. Now, the next part here that we're going to talk about is going to refer to the best buy based on the cost per unit. So, like I said, if we go to the grocery store, for example, and we want to talk about the cost per, we want to find the best buy amongst the items that we're looking for here. Okay, so that's essentially what we want to do. We want to find the best buy amongst the items in the store that we're effectively looking for. So let's take a good look here at this particular example, which is having three different types of syrup as we see up here. Okay, and we want to go ahead and determine, okay, which one of these three syrups is the best buy, again, for us to go ahead and take. Okay, so let's take a good look here at each of the syrups. So the first one here is $1.28 for 12 ounces. The second one here is $1.81 for 24 ounces. And the last one here is $2.73 for 36 ounces. Okay. Okay, so if we have that in place, okay, let's go ahead and see how we can go ahead and do this here. So we're going to figure out the unit price for each one. So the unit price here is going to be $1.28 for 12 ounces. Okay, so that's how we'll set up the first one. Second one here, we'll set up $1.81 for 24 ounces. And then finally we have 273 okay, over 36 ounces. Okay, now let's go ahead and find the cost per ounce for each individual syrup bottle. So again, all we're going to do here is, let's go ahead and do this out here. Again, just divide by 12 here on the numerator and denominator. So how much does it cost per ounce for the first bottle of pancake syrup? We have $1.28 divided by 12. Okay, good. That's right, Sion. All right, so we have 11 cents per ounce, okay, for the first one. All right, so far so good. How about the second one? Again, we want to divide by 24. All right, 8 cents. So 8 cents per ounce for that. All right, that seems fair. Okay, and how about the last one? All right, 0.08 again. Good. So here we get another 8 cents here for every ounce. So we can see here that the medium bottle, the 24-ounce bottle, and the 36-ounce bottle are very close in price. Now, if you look at it carefully, actually the 24-ounce bottle is slightly, and I really mean do slightly, a bit better than the 36-ounce bottle. I mean, really, it's pretty negligible. But again, at this point, you would probably say, well, they're both about 8 cents per ounce, and then you can determine how much of the syrup you need to buy. So the best to buy here, either again the 24 or 36, but that of course is dependent on how much you plan on using. You don't want to just pick, one thing of syrup up, use it once, and then never use it again. You want to pick something that has that fits your needs. So, all right, very good. All right, questions on that? No? Okay. All right. Now, also contained within this section are application problems. Okay. So we're going to look at another Best Buy kind of application. This time, we're going to do it with these two detergents here. That's what happens when you don't get a lot of sleep. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so we're going to be, let's take a look here. It says, there are many brands of liquid laundry detergent. If you think they all do a good job of cleaning your clothes, you can pick one based on the cost per load of clothes. 2 bottles of detergent are shown below. Okay, so find the better buy. All right, so here we want to find the cost per load of clothes. All right, so this is the important part here. Cost per load of clothes. So find the Sudsies unit cost. You need to know the price of the bottle and how many loads it washes. Find the same information for the Wido. Be careful. All right. So let's take a good look here at this one. Well, we want a cost per load. So we want the cost of the item. So what's the cost of this first laundry detergent? All right, so we're going to have $7.89. That's right. And how many loads does this laundry detergent do? How many loads does this laundry detergent do? Okay. How did we get that? 60 loads, right? Okay, good. So 7.89 divided by 60. So again, you have to divide by 60 here, right? Exactly. Divide by 60 on both the numerator and denominator. So correct, it would be 13 cents. Okay, so 13 cents per load is what we have here. All right, very good. Let's take a look at the white O. What is the cost for the white O? 1449. Okay, good. And how many loads does it do? 125, good. So again, we're forced to divide by 125. We have to divide by 125. All right. So that's correct, 12 cents per load. So in this particular case, the white O is going to be the winner here. All right, it costs a little less, just costs 1 cent less per load for the second one compared to the first one. Okay, any questions about that? Okay. Oh, they say. All right. All right. Let's do the last one here. All right. So let's do this one here. So this will be our final example here for the day. All right, which is letter B right here. So let's have you guys give this a try. We'll take a minute or two to do this here together. All right, so go ahead and give it a go. Once you have an answer, go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay. Brand C is the better buy, Patricia says. Okay. Okay, well, let's take a look and see if brand C is indeed the better buy here. Brand C is the better buy, says Daniel. All right. So let's take a good look here. We have a coupon for 85 cents for brand C. So that's going to be $3.89 minus the 85 cents that we give for the coupon. So in this case here, we're going to have $3.04 to be our new price. Again, we have 6 ounces of toothpaste. So we're going to go ahead and divide by 6. And if we indeed do divide by 6, we're certainly going to get 51 cents here. Again, you can round up here per ounce. So that part, okay. Now, the next one here, we have a coupon for 50 cents off of brand D. So we have 1.89, again, minus 50 cents, so a nice hefty discount. So we have $1.39 left over of what we would pay. Then we take $1.39. Unfortunately, this has fewer ounces of toothpaste in it. Maybe it's like a travel toothpaste or whatever, but 2.5 ounces, pretty small. All right, divide by 2.5, and you're going to get 0.556. You're going to get 0.56. I think that's what we get there. Check that one more time. Yeah, okay, good. So we get 56 cents here as our result. So our winner here is indeed going to be brand C. All right, very nice. Okay. Okay, any questions about, yeah, just be a little careful about the rounding, yeah. Again, technically the answer was 0.556, right? Yeah. But in this case, of course, since we're rounding to cents or 2 decimal places, we're looking at the 5 and underlining the 6 here. So that should round up by 1. Okay. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Any questions about this section here? None? Okay. Nope, nada. Okay. All right, so if there are no more questions here, this is where I'm going to end off here for today. I'm going to end off here a tad bit early, but I think that's okay. Um, now, today is just section 5.2, so if you want to keep up with the homework assignments, it's just section 5.2 for today. Now, we'll hopefully get through 2 more sections here from chapter 5 for next time, which is 5.3.5.4. Which is talking about proportions and applications of said proportions where we find say, a missing value. Okay, so it's kind of like the start of a little bit of algebra there. So we're going to get chapter 5 done right after. I think there's 5 or 6 sections in this particular chapter, maybe 5 off the top of my head. I could be very well be wrong, but okay. So that's what's on the agenda moving forward here. So once we're finished with chapter 5, okay, then that means we'll be able to do the chapter 4 and 5 tests. So it won't be for just a little bit until we finish this chapter. Okay? Are there any questions about tests or class or anything like that? All right, cool. All right, I want to thank you all for coming out today. I do apologize about my stream cutting in and out. Again, I can't really affect the connection here. I have the highest bandwidth possible, but it's a matter of, you know, outside elements. So again, apologies in regards to that. Hopefully it'll be better, everybody. Yes, happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. Please enjoy your holiday. Please, everybody, stay safe, stay sane. All right, that's very important. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay healthy. Please, that'd be great. All right, everybody, have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all later. All right, have a great one, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you later. All right, bye. Thank you, you too.